7 Apple predictions for 2026. From HomePad to AirTag 2 leaks and early iOS builds outline 7 Apple 2026 rumors ahead of launch. From HomePad and home camera to AirTag 2, A19 iPads, M5 Max, and iOS 26.4. Apple is quietly preparing one of the most calculated and ecosystem-shaping years in its history. And while most people are still focused on the next iPhone launch, internal leaks and early test builds already paint a surprisingly clear picture of what Apple has planned for 2026, suggesting a front-loaded year packed with smart home expansion, deeper Apple Intelligence integration, long overdue hardware refreshes, and software updates that could redefine how users interact with Apple devices. Long before the fall season arrives, starting with perhaps the most intriguing development of all, the long-rumored HomePad. Apple's smart home hub that blends a display, speakers, sensors, and a built-in camera into a single device designed to sit at the center of the Apple Home ecosystem. And according to leaked internal iOS references discovered by Macworld, HomePad may not launch alone, as Apple appears to be developing a second home-focused accessory categorized internally as an add-on, rather than a standalone product, featuring sound detection, image capture, and environmental sensors, strongly suggesting a companion home camera that integrates directly with HomePad rather than competing with it, positioning Apple to finally challenge smart home leaders like Google Nest and Amazon Echo with a privacy-focused, Apple-controlled solution expected to debut together in spring 2026, marking a shift away from Apple's usual fall-only hardware rhythm. And while smart home hardware grabs attention, Apple's entry-level iPad may finally shed its reputation as a neglected member of the lineup, as internal test builds point to an A19 powered-based iPad in development, bringing increased RAM and the necessary performance headroom to support Apple Intelligence features that have so far remained locked behind higher-end models. A move that would instantly make Apple's most affordable tablet far more relevant for students, families, and casual users while reinforcing Apple's long-term strategy of pushing on-device AI across all product tiers rather than limiting it to premium devices. And speaking of long overdue updates, 2026 also appears to be the year Apple finally refreshes 2 of its most popular but stagnant accessories, the HomePod Mini and the AirTag, with software references confirming a new HomePod Mini powered by a modern chip focused on better performance, faster responses, and improved Siri reliability without a dramatic redesign, while AirTag 2 looks set to quietly solve many of the original model's biggest pain points by delivering more precise location tracking, improved accuracy in crowded environments, and better performance when items are moving rather than stationary, upgrades that may sound subtle but dramatically improve real-world usability for travelers, commuters, and anyone who relies on Apple's Find My network daily. Yet perhaps the most surprising development of all lies not in hardware, but in software, as iOS 26.4 is shaping up to be one of Apple's most important mid-cycle updates ever, with leaked test builds revealing changes normally reserved for full version upgrades, including meaningful Siri enhancements, deeper system-level intelligence, expanded health app capabilities, and strengthened security features, suggesting Apple may use this spring update to redefine the user experience months before new iPhones arrive, effectively stealing the spotlight from the fall cycle and reinforcing Apple's growing emphasis on continuous software evolution rather than once-a-year reinvention. And on the Mac side, Apple's relentless silicon roadmap continues with the M5 family expected to spread across multiple Mac models in 2026, focusing on performance gains, stronger graphics, and improved support for on-device AI workloads, while keeping external designs largely unchanged, reinforcing Apple's confidence that raw power, efficiency, and intelligence now matter more than visual refreshes, while iPhone development for 2026 appears equally focused on internal evolution rather than dramatic redesigns, with reports pointing toward higher RAM limits to support new system features, expanded use of Apple's in-house cellular modem in premium models, and the re-emergence of the foldable iPhone rumor as a possible wildcard that could sit above the standard lineup as an ultra-premium option rather than replacing existing models, potentially reshaping Apple's flagship strategy entirely. And finally, one of the most ambitious shifts may happen quietly inside the Health app, as internal references suggest a redesigned interface, deeper system integration, and the foundation for an AI-driven health assistant capable of analyzing user data and surfacing actionable insights, with signs pointing toward subscription-based features and expansion beyond the iPhone. Positioning Health not just as an app, but as a full-fledged Apple platform alongside services like iCloud and Apple Music. And when you step back and look at the timing of these leaks, a clear pattern emerges. Many product and features are internally tagged for early 2026 releases rather than traditional fall window, signaling a front-loaded year where Apple makes noise early through software, smart home hardware accessories, and ecosystem upgrades, setting the tone long before the next iPhone announcement. And while not every feature found in test builds will make it to market, the consistency and volume of these leaks suggest Apple is preparing a year of refinement rather than reinvention, strengthening every corner of its ecosystem while quietly laying the groundwork for its next major leap. And our recommendation for Apple users, creators, and tech enthusiasts is simple. Pay close attention to Apple's spring announcements in 2026, because that's where the real story may unfold, not in September. And if you want to stay ahead of Apple leaks, future tech, and ecosystem-shaping updates explained clearly and consistently, make sure you stay connected with Techverse.